Killed the beat.
Somebody need to hear this. Y'all don't speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks and native Hispanics. The Germans getting locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died, y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew, you a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum, a gun die or die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We was slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth, I had to make it clear. How Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947, your menorah got 9 sticks, it's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world, Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Nation sitting ducks, Aflacs, bunch of thieves and culture vultures, ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you litter. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, fear, give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, this the feast of Purim. UPK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard and they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all tryna make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil who is, I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he get them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'd punch you in person. I know this uncomfortable subject, they making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ, they the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas, they a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth, niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4, I ain't satisfied.
That is proof, that is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Like he got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity and they know it. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are.
Hey, I'm just following orders.
For the rebel, busy man, shit, nigga. They turn their head on, nigga. I read what Eve did to Adam. I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Nigga think I'm playing, I don't hear one, but they saying this shit light work. Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert. Another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with ya. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening. Is in fact the fear. If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jackie. So I walk, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get him crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it Young Black. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he said something, I ain't hear him, this shit life. It ain't on who got the gun, it's on who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain frame. Shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for this. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play he won't, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified 1% nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow sign, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jake when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still about my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, start to call it this game. Pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put y'all faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on cargo slave ship. What the fuck he do for blacks in his administration? I'm waiting, patient like a saint. Black, Hispanic, Native, they hate your ass the same. Paint Christ in they image, paint you as a slave. God ain't all love, scripture say he hate African soul niggas. They know not the same. Scoop line to get you off the streets. Put your toilet connected to the molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took it off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lies sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave them, and this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in Creek. Man, I joined the UPK, taught me the art of warring. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, class was being held by the shock on my life. I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. UPK the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under your honor, ain't me murdered by them and got a hug from your honor. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priest bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ice agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game, put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. It's more of us in jail than it was slaves. Chose by the Lord, we could never be the same. Soon as they born, the wicked go astray. They left the truth, they wasn't with us anyway. Niggas weak, they just saying anything to be truthful. We don't want no cowards anyway. Look, coronavirus, that's a plague. You don't get too much sleep when you waking up the dead. First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church. Came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church.
And I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert. Another cop just stretched the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit, not listening. Is in fact and I scope that bitch like Jack the Ripper. We gon' run, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell. Should've never kidnapped my family. I came to do damage, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger, no doubt, you a bird feeder. Claiming he a demon, the demon to a cold leader. He saying something, I ain't him, this shit light work. Who got this gun, it's about who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain free. Shots, I'ma look at and jokes when I run. Never bite the hand of feature, you will never get that hand back. He bitching about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be rich and Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow sign, yeah, this the roar. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still about my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop all them demons like I'm Hellboy.
All right, Shalom, Israel. Let's go ahead and clap it up. That's right. Say Shalom, Israel. We're the Israelite School, the Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. You know what I'm saying? This is the ISUPK Lashawan Qadash class and the home of the truth. You know what I'm saying? Where we break down our authentic
ancient language, the so-called the Hebrew and the English, the Lashawan Qadash. All right, the holy tongue. You know what I'm saying? We get into the holy tongue and break down the meanings of you know what I'm saying, words and phrases and how to form, you know what I'm saying, form sentences and what, you know what I'm saying, the initial linguistics of the Bible was during the time it was written, right? That's the whole point of this class, so we could get into these, you know what I'm saying, get into these scriptures. So like in 1 second. So we can get into these scriptures and understand our language from, you know what I'm saying, a biblical perspective and you know what I'm saying, a modern perspective. You know what I'm saying? So if you got any questions, go ahead, put them in the chat so we can get those Lashawan Kodash related questions answered. We're gonna get right into it though. Right. So last week we went into, well, first of all, let me start off, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you have your learning utensils. It is very important, especially for Lashawan Kodash class, for you to have your learning utensils, which means, of course, your King James Version Bible and Apocrypha. You're gonna need a notebook, a pen or pencil, something to write with. You know what I'm saying? Your strong concordance, and your Hebrew Greek interlinear dictionary. You know what I'm saying? Earlier classes we talked about some apps and resources that you could get on your phone. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a physical copy, you got some apps that you can get on your phone if you're on the go, if you ride the bus, you know what I'm saying, you ride the bus, the train, you know what I'm saying, whatever you know what I'm saying, whatever you got going on. If you just go out and about, you know what I'm saying, you get a couple apps that you can get on your phone. So if you need those, if you want me to help you get with those, you know what I'm saying, just let me know and I'll let you know as a reminder which ones to get. All right. But that's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need a Bible, Apocrypha, pen or pencil, notebook, concordance, and your Hebrew dictionary. All right. So we can get more acclimated to our language. All right, slack you 1 second. All right, so last week we kind of piggybacked off of our last class. It was we started with we practiced forming questions. We as we were learning the nations of the Bible. So we started with the 12 tribes of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Judah, Benjamin, Gad, Levi, Simeon. You know what I'm saying? The 12 tribes, all the way down. How to say it in the Lashawan Kodash, and then we went on to the heathen nations. We started with that, and we practiced using that in forming sentences. All right. So if you got any questions related to that, it's a lot of you. If you got any questions related to that or any questions related to the Lashawan Kodash, go ahead and put it in the chat. All right, and we can get those questions answered, or you know what I'm saying, we can, you know what I'm saying, we can, you know what I'm saying, we can get down. All right. But last week, you know what I'm saying, we was practicing asking questions. We practiced using who, what, when, where, why, and how last week. All right. So we're gonna kind of review that a little bit just to refresh our memory, and then moving forward in this class tonight, we're gonna continue to practice using those question words, right? And eventually, you know what I'm saying, after verbally practicing, physically writing out these words, we're going to become efficient with being able to communicate with each other in the Lashawan Kodash. Like we understand off top, Salakia, Baba Kashat, the water, Khan, La'ah. You know what I'm saying? We understand that off top because we practice it so much, we use it so much, we become proficient in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to go and look up what Baba Kashat means, or Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah. You know what I'm saying? It just, you don't have to look those things up because we use it so often. So that's the goal tonight. We're gonna practice We're gonna practice using these new things, who, what, when, where, why, and then we're gonna pair it with things that we already know. All right. So just, you know what I'm saying, brief little review, right? We anybody online, you know what I'm saying, anybody in class, you know what I'm saying, do we remember how to say these words, right? This is gonna be important for tonight. It's gonna be real important. See what you got, Free.
I got who?
All right, what you got for who?
My yacht.
Don't sound correct. There we go. So we got Maya for who, right?
You want me to keep going?
Let me see. If you got it, well, hold on. Let me see. Let me see if anybody else jump in. You know what I'm saying? And if you hit like brothers and sisters online, I'm gonna you know what I'm saying, stall a little bit so y'all can get some time. But if you got, you know what I'm saying, if you hear the answer, just put it in the chat anyway. You know what I'm saying? Or if vice versa, if an answer goes in the chat, you know what I'm saying, don't be discouraged and just raise your hand and say it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be afraid to just say, you know what I'm saying, just put the answer in the chat anyway, or put it, you know what I'm saying, raise your hand and put the answer, you know what I'm saying, say the answer anyway. Did you want to see if you can write it? You want to practice writing it? Or
Yeah, all right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to write it real big too.
All right.
Get out your way. Oh no, in the
Hebrew.
Yeah, in the Lashawan, Qadash, right over here. I turned around like Matt.
Okay.
You got it. I'll take care of it. And also, Slacky, if you're having trouble using any of the resources that we talked about, if you're having any trouble using any of the resources that we talked about in past classes or anything like that, you know what I'm saying, ask them questions too, because that's going to be the foundation of how we. That's going to be the foundation of how we able to compound on our knowledge. One time, credit. Get that first hand. But that's going to be the foundation of how we able to compound on our knowledge, right? Is the using the resources, right? Because right now we know how to say who, what, when, where, and why, but according, you know what I'm saying, once we having conversations with one another, we're gonna have to attach something to that who, what, when, where, and why. And it's like who let me think. You know what I'm saying, who is your father? When you know what I'm saying, when can we go? Or some, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, just communicating with one another. But if there's a word that you don't, you know what I'm saying, if there's a word that you don't understand, you can just go to one of the resources and then build that sentence on your own. Right? So again, if you're having trouble using any of the resources, or if you don't have the resources, you're having trouble getting the resources, just, you know what I'm saying, put that in the chat also, and we can get you squared away. So we can become independent and taking our culture back from these culture vultures, right? We're not gonna be able to get the kingdom back waiting one day a week. You know what I'm saying? For Lashawan Qadash class, we gotta have a little zeal of our own to do independent research. And then you can bring those questions to class and get that confirmed. You know what I'm saying? To get the truth, right? So next up we got what? All right. I don't see anything in the chat. You wanna go ahead and give it a shot?
You want to go right on the board or?
You wanna
It's
put that practice in?
yeah.
Okay, what's on first? You go ahead do it all if you got it. So you stop wherever you need to. That's one thing, you close, but I see what you. So you're reading it like ma and
Oh, Slack.
the.
Slack.
You see me?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, most time first. It's also good to, you know what I'm saying, practice, you know what I'm saying, writing it also. You know what I'm saying? Like this brother is doing right here. Just practice writing it. But that should be the first thing. You know what I'm saying? Like as adults, you know what I'm saying, we wanna most high Christ. There you go, that's it right there. But you know what I'm saying, as adults we wanna just you got more or you go. But as adults, you know what I'm saying, we wanna just learn how to, you know what I'm saying, be able to communicate and speak to one another in the Lashawan Qadash. But you know what I'm saying, writing is a big part of a language also, right? So it's, you know what I'm saying, for brothers and sisters at home, you know what I'm saying, if you haven't already, just practice writing the characters individually one by one in the ancient and the ancient and the Assyrian Hebrew. All right, get your hands familiar with the language, get your penmanship strong, and that's how we're gonna become proficient in the Lashawan Qadash. And again, if brothers and sisters got the answers in the chat, we just going over who, what, when, where, why, and how to say it in the Lashawan Qadash. So if you got it in the chat, you know what I'm saying, just go ahead and put it all in the chat.
Say why.
It's the easiest one.
It's like,
Oh, no sweat. I was just going to try to give you a hint.
That be it?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Damn right.
Man. Yeah, I'm right to I don't know if let's see.
You might want to start over closer to the right.
Yeah.
Like right over. Just the longest word.
Wow.
What's that crazy? Give yourself a hand. Shit. I can see. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Most time Christ. So we got who, which is Maya. What, which would be Ma. When. Ma. Ya. Where. Ya. And why. Ma. Da. Why. All right. If you don't already have this in your notes, I mean, this is third class. So we probably should already, well, we definitely, I'm gonna say probably, we definitely should have this already in our notes. And you know what I'm saying, you should be practicing using these, right? Practicing using these, forming sentences, writing them out individually. Should be practicing these things at home, or like, you know what I'm saying, directly after the Lashawan Qadash class, before Lashawan Qadash class, or wherever you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Just practice writing your language, because if we don't practice it, you know what I'm saying, if we don't practice reading it, writing it, you know what I'm saying, then there's no way we're going to be able to steal this culture back from these culture vultures who persecute us every time we try to speak up and take back our culture.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We see these celebrities, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Most high Christ for their zeal, you know what I'm saying? Most high Christ for their zeal. But we see these celebrities trying to take back our culture, right? But because they're not very familiar with it, or they haven't done the research or the thorough research and studies behind it, like we do in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, these celebrities, you know what I'm saying, they realize that their money isn't, you know what I'm saying, their money can't save them at this point. Now they have to have the training that is required to be able to defend this culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They have to have the training required to understand the culture that they're trying to take back. Because especially these Khazars, these Ashkenazi Jews who, you know what I'm saying, these culture vultures who steal your culture and they bastardize it, and then they try to teach you your culture. You know what I'm saying? It could be very discouraging if you're not familiar with the ancient culture. You know what I'm saying? That's where they got it from to even bastardize it in the first place, all right?
Right.
So we can't, you know what I'm saying? It's honorable, you know what I'm saying, for these celebrities to speak out on these things and try to stand on it for as long as their zeal will allow them to. But what has to be paired with that zeal is knowledge. You know what I'm saying? What's that scripture in Roman? What is that? Roman
15:4?
Zeal, not according to knowledge.
10:2.
10:2. It says, you know what I'm saying, you got the zeal, but not according to knowledge. You know what I'm saying? If you got the zeal, but you don't have the knowledge to pair with the zeal, then it's only a matter of time before, you know what I'm saying, our brothers and sisters flake on the, you know what I'm saying, and, you know what I'm saying, like, to these brothers in the truth here. And I actually became a home of truth, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're not studying, if you're not practicing the Hebrew, I'm saying it's only a matter of you flake up out the truth, because you got zeal to stand with the brothers of the you know, the brothers and the men of the Lord and the sisters who and on the truth. You got the zeal to stand here, but you don't have the knowledge to be able to defend it and put in, you know, apply your word. So you know what I'm saying, pay knowledge so that we can get this culture back. All right. We gonna get right back into where we left off. So we was talking about the nations of the Bible, and we were forming questions and practicing with the names of the nations of the Bible. So the first class we talked about who or what is your father, and we practiced with who is your mother, who is your ma abba wa, or what is his father, ma abba ka. Ma Abba Ya, what is my father? And then we practice answering that question, right? Using Ma, we practice with Ma Ya. We practice with, let me think, what else? So we gonna
With practice with the wives too.
The wife. Oh yeah. Most time practice the water priest. So we went into what is your wife? What nation is your wife, right? So Ma Asha Ka. Ma Asha Ka. What is your wife? Or Ma Asha Wa. What is his wife? Ma Asha Ha. What is her wife? But you know what I'm saying? Those are the things that we practiced in the past. Now we're going to compound on that knowledge, and we're going to deal with
They give him the call to the SWAT. Come Walter, he about to be on the way. I don't know. I didn't ask him, sir. Want me to ask?
We're gonna deal with where
You
is.
want me to call him or you want to call him, sir?
We're gonna deal with where. All right. So
Yeah, come on, cuz. Yeah, come on, cuz. It's like, sir. Right. All right, come on, cuz. Right, we'll go.
it is what?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. We're gonna practice using the word where. All right. So where is your you can fill in the blank. So we practice using mother, father, wife. We're gonna use a different one. We're gonna practice using words that we already know or should know, right? So we're gonna ask, you see, where is your, let me see. All right, we're gonna do this. Where is your son? All right, we're gonna use that. Where is your son? All right. So it's a word that we should know already, but it's a word that we don't use every day. Well, we do use it a lot. We might not realize it though. But just to give us that, because I didn't want to use the word. That was the first thing that came to my head. But we already, you know, the word.
Try it. Oh, for son?
Yeah, for son. Are you you want to put the whole thing up there? Or you just want?
Yeah, I do which way. I say son.
You got well. If you know the whole thing, you can put it up there in the Let me see. You can write it right here in the there you go. If you got the whole thing,
I'm gonna try.
all right, go ahead. Yeah, do the thing.
Oh, slide.
Right. Now I think
I messed up.
no, you got that. The last part is correct, but Mataya is what, or like what is Mataya mean?
Oh, win.
What is Mataya? Damn right. I'm right. Absolutely correct. Get that brother a hand, man. Ayato. Aya Banka. Where is your son? All right. Now, there's another way that you can ask this question, right? But I want to just practice using, because we already used the word what. But I want to practice using these other question words, all right? So we're just going to use this, right? Aya Banka. Where is your son? But when you're asking this, you're asking what land, or, you know what I'm saying, what land is your son in, right? That's the question that you're really asking. So to answer this question, we're going to need to know the word for land, right? This is also a word that we use often, but we don't realize it, or we may not realize it. If you know the word for land, or, well, I want to give you this hint off the ka. But if you know the word for land, you know what I'm saying, put it in the chat, and we're going to get down. So what land, where is your son, or what land is your son? Right? So to answer this question like we did, to answer this question, we're gonna need the word for the name for the word for the like the Hebrew word for land. So you would respond, my son is in the land of such and such. That's how you respond in English, right? So in the Lashawan Qadash, you'll respond.
So
I think I heard you say whisper.
So answering it.
Yeah, answer it. So I'm gonna ask you. All right. Aya banka.
Banya. I don't know the word for name.
All right. So how do you say? Okay. So I'm gonna give you a hint. All right. So the word for land is the same as earth, and it's in the Lord's Prayer. In earth as it is in heaven.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Shemka.
Let's see if it's over here.
It should be. Yeah, it's in there.
Let me see. But brothers and sisters online, it is the same word that we use every week for the Lashawan or for the Lord's Prayer, particularly where it says in earth as it is in heaven. And just another hint, it's gonna be the same verbiage that we use in the Lord's Prayer. So responding, so I'm gonna ask Aya Banka, where is your son? The response would be, my son is in the land. In the land. All right. So you would say in the land. So that's another hint. So you would attach to the root word, you would have.
Is it what?
Go ahead.
Wouldn't it be Malakwa? Akita?
La.
No.
A little bit.
On the passage.
No, you just keep on reading and you'll find it.
Daba'a, Ratazaka, Haya, Asha, Baharatazat, Kawa.
Go back.
Baharatazat.
So what is that? What does ba mean?
Ba means in, right?
Right.
And A means like head.
So that's that word right there after ba. Ba is a preposition.
Right.
The word after that is the root word that we're looking for.
Ratazat.
Right. So that would be the word for land. So
Ratazat.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Ba aratazah. So ba is the preposition. Aratazah is the name for earth or land. In that Lord's Prayer, ba aratazah means in earth.
Okay. So it'll be Banya Aratazah.
Banya aratazah. Right. Yeah. Come.
Okay.
Banya ba aratazah, or you're saying, because that's just in earth or in land, depending on the context. How would you say in the land?
In the land?
Right.
I would say.
Let me write this up here. So, Ban In response, you'll say Banya.
Yeah, Banya.
Banya, like you said, Banya. So
And,
Ba.
So slide.
Oh no, go ahead.
So we Ba. Slide. Slide.
Oh no, you good. You good.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I got slacking, please.
Let it work through it.
So it would be.
So we got so far. We got Banya.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
So it would be Bun. Like it would be Bud. So okay, it would be Bud Ha. Aratazat.
Damn right.
Okay.
Most High Christ. Ba Ha.
And land. Aratazat. Okay.
Aratazat. Right? So we got the possessors at the end, right? In red, right? So we got Banya. Now we're answering the question. So I'll ask, Aya Banka, where is your son? Right? You will respond, Banya. So the preposition or the possessors will change at the end. And then you'll say to respond, my son is in the land. You'll say in the Baha, right? Baha, which are two prepositions, right? Baha in the Aratazat will be your root word. So Banya Ba'aratazat, my son is in the land. And now we're going to get into these nations. Right? So last week we went over. So this is the question we're going to be answering, right? So this will be a perfect time, right? While we got this little intermission, this will be the perfect time to write down, you know what I'm saying, the question and the answer in the Hebrew, because we're going to be using this all night, right? So we're going to kind of review a little bit over what we went over last week, and then we're going to go over these last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nations. All right, so we went over 6 nations last week. We're going to go over the last 6 this week, all right? So we can identify these heathen nations who are not our people, right? So we got, in English, my son in the land
Yes.
Yeah.
How much you want? He said he has 1.5 right now. I put in 5.
I put 20. But in the
Tequila?
right.
It don't matter. He said, you know.
Well, okay, slack you for that. So in response, so we got where is your son? Aya Banka, right? In response, Banya Baha Aratazat. So in the English would be my son. The is implied, right? Because that's how we talk.
He said, I'll catch up.
Right. But the is implied, because that's how we talk, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Where you from? We don't like that's not how black people typically talk, right? We don't say, hey, where you from? Or where are you from? Where you know what I'm saying? Where you from? You know what I'm saying? Who you? Where you at? You know what I'm saying? So my son, if you were talking to a brother like a brother, you know what I'm saying, like how brothers usually talk, you know what I'm saying? You would say, Salakia. You would say, okay, where's your son? Well, my son in the land, such and such. My son here, my son there. You know what I'm saying?
So it's like free. So okay, so when somebody asks you in the Hebrew, right? So they ask you, where is your son? So we will respond as if give them like a location, like a they in this land, like in the land, like okay. So if I was somebody asking me, where's my son? So I would have to say in the land, like that's the answer.
Well, it depends.
Okay.
Like it you know what I'm saying? If he in the kitchen, you just be like, oh, he in the kitchen.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so we saying land because why we saying land?
Like, well, really, we just practicing using the words that we already know.
Okay.
So we should already know Aratazah
Okay.
for the word land because we went over it.
Okay.
But also it depends. Like you might have to like asking a brother like, hey, where you from? Like where you from?
So I asked him where you from. I said Ayah Ratazah.
Right.
Like where your location is, where you from? Like
right.
I got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Or what? You know what I'm saying? What land you in right now?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the question we asking.
Go on.
Won't sound crazy. And it happens all the time, you know what I'm saying? Like we find ourselves in these situations like right now, you know what I'm saying? Like what hood you in?
Right.
What part of the city you in?
Right.
Like, oh yeah, I'm in, you know what I'm saying? Cause that's a very crucial part of our livelihood right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? What land you in and what place you in could cost you your life.
Right.
If you're a brother, you know what I'm saying? So if you say, oh, I'm up in what's a Edomite neighborhood? You know what I'm saying?
Post Oak in Houston.
Is that say Houston? Like, oh, I'm in Post Oak. Like, oh, so you surrounded by heathen. You surrounded by your enemy. So if you're a man of war, and you understand your condition in this country,
right? You
hear that, okay, my brother in Post Oak. Like, oh, okay. He's surrounded by devils.
Right.
So you know what his condition is. So you're like, all right, be safe, man. Hey, hit me up when you get to where you're going. Hit me up when you leave. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You checking up on your brother a little more often. But if a brother say, hey, Ayah, you know what I'm saying, where you know what I'm saying, where you at? What Maya, or it's like Ayah Aratazah, you know what I'm saying? And the brother say, oh, I'm at the school. If you ask a brother like, oh, I'm at the school, you like, all right, most time Christ. And you know what I'm saying? You still like, you know what I'm saying, show love for your brother, like, all right, be safe, man. Hey, let me know when you get to the school. Let me know when you leave the school. But it's like you can relax a little bit because you know if he's at the school, he's surrounded by like-minded brothers. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So like this question right here is crucial for us to be able to ask one another because it lets you know the type of situation you in. Like you might be in the hood, like, okay, Ayah Bankar, where your son at? Oh, he in the you know what I'm saying, he in the Jakes. Oh, he's surrounded by that. He's surrounded by you say we already know who in the projects. We got our, you know what I'm saying, we got the so-called Hamites, who we gonna get into tonight. We got the so-called we got the Elamites, you know what I'm saying, who we got into last week. You know what I'm saying? You surrounded by devils then. The Moabites, the Ammonites, you know what I'm saying? You surrounded by devils then. So you want to add, you know what I'm saying? You surrounded by, you know what I'm saying, your brothers who not necessarily acclimated with their culture. So they don't know that we, you know what I'm saying, we got love for them. So they just, go ahead.
It's like you. So this question right here is asking, where is your son? Okay, so are you going to like a? Okay, I want to go ahead of the lesson.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so how do you ask where, like you're saying right now, like, where are you? Where are you at? Like, where's your location? If you talk to like, not no, you talk to that person.
Right. Okay. Excellent question. Where we at? Okay, I'm gonna get into that with I'm gonna practice with some nations.
Okay.
And I'm gonna answer your question.
Okay.
In a little bit.
All right.
Baba Kashab reminder because I'm liable to forget.
Okay.
But I'm gonna get right into that. That's an excellent question. We should definitely touch on that.
Okay.
So Banya Baha Arataza, my son in the land, right?
Mm-hmm.
So First Nation, right? So we got Japheth, right? So these are the so-called, just to give a little background, these are the so-called Pacific Islanders, what you would know as the Hawaiians, or the Samoan, you know what I'm saying? The Pacific Islanders, right? You know what I'm saying? This is one of the, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to say nothing that's false, but if I'm not mistaken, this is one of actually the only nation that didn't have our people in captivity. You know what I'm saying? Every other nation had our people in captivity, except for the nation of Japheth, but they are not of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right? So, Banya Baha Arataza Japheth, or Slaki. Put this down here in English. So, in the English, my son is in the land of. The of can be implied, but if you want to use the of, if you want to say of, we know that of is what, you know what I'm saying? If you got you know what I'm saying, if you want to put it in the chat, go ahead, put it in the chat. But it's not necessary, but you can use it if necessary.
Are you talking about Japheth?
No, the name
the Hebrew name?
For of. Because the whole point of a language, why you, you know what I'm saying, you could think on it, but
I see you right now.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, Most High Christ. Well, you got it? Okay, what is it?
Ma.
Most High Christ. So, Ma, but the whole point of the language is to be understood. And this is our language. So, again, this ain't, you know what I'm saying, this ain't just like, you know what I'm saying, some heathen language where they nitpick at every little, you know what I'm saying, like the English language, like if you ask any nation of people, they're going to tell you the English language is one of the most complicated languages to learn because they stole from so many different languages and cultures and, you know what I'm saying, from they pillaging and robbing and raping and murdering. Like they stole from so many different cultures. Like you got French words, German words, Greek, Roman, you got English, African words, you got Spanish words all mixed together in, you know what I'm saying, in the English language, especially when you get you know what I'm saying, when you get around these, you know what I'm saying, in in corporate America, you know what I'm saying, sometimes the words they be using be crazy. Like they'll say something like, what they say, the je ne sais quoi? Man. And they like you a brother, so you like what you talking about? And then they say, oh, that's just I believe that word mean like what you got?
Oh no, I got the answer.
Almost like for the answer for what, for Japheth?
Yeah.
Hey, most of that crazy. Oh, you can go ahead and put it up there then in the English.
Okay.
If you want to write it in the Hebrew in your notes, and that's
I got it in my notes.
Okay, most time correct. You can just write it in the English, and then you want to give it a shot writing the sentence in the Lashawan for that? Well, you could write it in English first here.
I gotta go with the door.
Okay, no sweat, English thing. But feng shui. That's the word I want to use. Feng shui. All right. So like you get into corporate America, you get around these bougie, you know what I'm saying, these bougie, so-called, you know what I'm saying, in corporate America, and they're like, hey, this the feng shui in here is amazing. Or it's like they start using words you ain't never heard before. And you like, feng shui, what's that? What you talking about? And they say, oh, that's just the vibe. That's just, you know what I'm saying, the energy, you know what I'm saying, the vibe. Well, why don't you just say that? You know what I'm saying? That's how complicated the English language is and unnecessary the English language is. Because they done stole from so many different cultures, like so many different languages, so many different cultures, you know what I'm saying? They use it themselves because they are heathen, they are vagabond in the vagabond in the earth. They don't have a home. So their curse is they gonna be culture vultures. They gonna steal your culture and put on your culture. Right? But my point is our language ain't like that, man. We don't nitpick on all these things. We don't have our language ain't complicated. Our language is very simple. All right? So we got in the Lashawan Qadash, right? We got Yawashmi Ashabakadar. So in the Lashawan Qadash, we got the Banya, Baha Arataza, and note at the end of a word, there are 5 characters that have that, you know what I'm saying, that switch, that use a different character when it's used at the end of a word versus the beginning or middle of a word. So just keep that in mind as you see, you know what I'm saying, as we write and practice in the Lashawan Qadash, and take a mental note of that, because you're going to need that eye. You're going to need that eye for that type of thing as you read and write in the Lashawan Qadash, or especially as you read it. Because, you know what I'm saying, during Sabbath service or feast days or things like that, as you're reading it, sometimes that'll be the thing that trips us up. Because we see it less often. But moving on, so we got Banya, Baha, Arataza. You still want to put that jacket up there?
Yeah. Oh, are you rolling the series?
Yeah, I wrote it in the series. You want to write it in the ancient?
You can't write it in the series. All right. I just wrote it down tonight. Yeah.
But just off that point though, because you know what I'm saying, some of the characters, there are 5 characters in the ancient or the Assyrian that have the character that switches at the end. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I personally write when I'm teaching in the Assyrian. Most High Christ. Give that brother a hand.
Yeah. Pie.
I'm right. But that is the. What you got, sir? Oh, most High Christ. No, sir. Okay, no, sir. Banya, Baha, Arataza, Japat. Right?
That's what we
Barataza, like it. Banya, Baha, Arataza, Yapat. All right. So that's how you will form that sentence. Where is your son? Aya Banka. If somebody asks you, Aya Banka, where Aya Banka, your son, you'll respond, Banya Baha Arataza, Yapat. If we're talking about the land of Jackson, right, which would be the modern day Pacific Islands, you know what I'm saying, Hawaiians and all those, that chain of islands, right? Now, all right, so this is with the same question, all right, we're gonna ask the same question, Ayabanka, so where is your son? Now we're gonna talk about the so-called land of Ham, right? Which would be the modern day so-called Africans, right? And this is what trips up brothers and sisters nowadays, right? Because we think that we were stolen from that land, right, during the transatlantic slave trade in the 1600s, because we were stolen from that land, they think that we are Africans. So that's why, you know what I'm saying, up until recently, when it started coming out that the Jews are black, up until recently, you know what I'm saying, you'll still see brothers like, you know what I'm saying, I believe, you know what I'm saying, Kyrie Irving during an interview when he was talking about, you know what I'm saying, the Jews being black, he had an ankh around his neck, if I'm not mistaken. But like brothers still tend to equate ourselves with the so-called Africans because we were stolen from there. But what we got to do is be able to separate ourselves from that nation that's not us. All right, so now we're going to talk about that nation that's not us. All right, so last week we talked about Yasharalu, which is Hebrew for Israel or Prince of the Power. Right, so that is our nation. Ham is the nation that we always mistake ourselves for, the progenitor of the nation that we mistake ourselves for. So-called Ethiopians, Nigerians, Libyans, you know what I'm saying? All those, the so-called Africans, right? That's the nation we mistake ourselves for. Biblically, their name is, so you ask you, Ayabanka, how would you answer that question, right? If we're talking about the land of Ham, right? So, where is your son? If your son is just for practice purposes, if your son is in the land of Ham and you're responding to the question, Ayabanka, how would you answer that? Give it a little bit of time. See if anybody in the chat got anything.
So, can you repeat that question?
Come on, sir. So basically we just for anybody that's, you know what I'm saying, just joining online, we're practicing using the question words for who, what, when, where, and why, and asking questions, right? So we got just for practice, where is your son? Right. So we got the word for where, Ayah, son, ban, and your ka. So the question is, where is your son? Ayah ban ka. So the question is, how would you respond to that question in the Lashawan for that? So Ayah ban ka. Slaki, sir?
No, Slaki.
Oh, okay.
Is that the answer up there? Banya?
Come, sir.
Okay, come sit
Slaki.
up.
We got Slaki. I forgot to say too.
No,
We got Banya, Baha, Arakaza, and then this is where the nation will go. So basically the Hebrew word for ham.
Kawa,
Say that again.
Slocky. Is it so,
Let's see. Calm.
Right. See, that's the other hand. So in the Hebrew, all right. So we're talking about the nation of Ham, right? The so-called African. In the Lashawan Qadash, it would be spelled Ham, right? And this is where the word Kemet comes from, right? So in the Yiddish, right, where what the so-called Jewish man would say, if you're from the land of Ham, they would call you Chamet. In the English translation, that's where they get the word Kemet from, where you get chematology, the study of the African culture and all of that, and Egyptology and all of that. That's where you get that from the Hebrew word Cham, and the bastardized version of that word. So in the English, or in the Hebrew, you ask, where is your son? Ayah Banka, where is your son? Or if you just want to practice using different possessives, which go at the end of a root word, you would say, you could practice saying, where is her son? Ayah Ban Ha, where is his son? Ayah Ban Wa. Or where is our son? Ayah Ban Nawa. Right? Just for practice purposes, all right? And then to respond to that, you would say Ban Ya, if you're talking about me or my son or our son, Ban Nawa, or whatever his son, Ban Wa, so like it, Ban Wa, Ba Harataza, Chum, in the land of Ham, which would be modern day Africa, right? Salaki, what was that question you had? Because I'm gonna go ahead and go into that, right?
okay.
You asked, go ahead and ask it.
Okay. So I'm asking, how do you ask somebody where are they at?
Oh yeah. Where? Okay, so we got where is. So okay, we started with where is your son. Now we're gonna ask, where are you? Right. So like I said, are you?
Would it be Banka?
Well,
No, Ayah. Where Ayah is where is, right?
concert.
Okay, Ayah, where is? Okay, it's like that.
So the question now is, where are you?
Let's see,
Now we're gonna get into this particular topic in a later class, but the word for you, if you haven't established the subject of the sentence, you will start off by saying Yaka. So like for example, let me think. But to start off the sentence, if you haven't established the subject, like you, me, him, her, you haven't established who we're talking about, you would start off with, you would say Yaka. And then the rest of the sentence would, or the rest of the conversation would use the possessive, or the possessive ka. It will be it will use the possessive ka. So the question is now aya yaka, right? So now the answer changes. So we got
So I can't remember.
concert.
So what's that?
Aya is where,
Okay, that's just where.
right? And then so aya yaka, where you at? Or you're saying where are you? So the filler words are implied. Are, is, you know what I'm saying, things like that.
So would that be the ya before the ka, the r?
La, sir. So aya is where.
Mm-hmm.
Aya is where.
Mm-hmm.
Yaka is you.
Okay.
And
That's just
then
the filler word.
this is implied.
Okay.
This is just a filler word implied.
Okay. And if I may,
Concept.
so why was the ya put in front of the ka? Because ka is you, right?
Right.
Okay, so why was the ya put in front of the ka?
Because the ya, or it's like the ka is a possessive
Okay.
that goes at the end of a root word
Okay.
when you're having a conversation. Yaka is the word for you to establish
Okay,
the
that's
topic
what you
of the
meant.
conversation.
Okay, I got it. The one.
So now we're saying aya yaka, where are you?
Right.
So you will respond. Now you would have to say I am, or I am. And this is
Is it Aya?
say it again?
Is it Aya?
Because
Yeah.
ka is
La.
you. So I am. Oh, so I am.
And this is again. This is a. Go ahead. You have.
He got the preposition
Oh yeah. It's like you.
to help you out with that. That's
But this is also a topic that we kind of touched on a little bit
right.
in past classes, but it's not something that we had a class on to, you know what I'm saying, to like what we just talked about to establish the topic of the sentence. We haven't had a class on that. So this is a new topic. But so to answer this question, you would use the word I'm just go ahead and put it up here. So we got anya. Anya is the word for I or I am. And we kind of brushed over it in a couple of past classes, but we didn't get into it deep. And for example, for General Shawamar, his name is Anya Shawamar. Right? And that means I'm watching. So Shawamar means watching. Anya means I am. So to answer your question, to ask somebody, where are you? Aya yaka. And then that brother will respond, Anya baha arataza, and then the land that they're in. Because the word for land is arataza.
Yeah.
Right.
So it wouldn't be because the reason why I say Aya because the I and I am.
Right. Right.
So why is it Anya?
It's Anya because now we're establishing the topic.
Okay.
Right? So you got, or we're establishing the subject rather, Salaki. So Anya or Salaki, Aya Yaka.
Okay.
Where are you?
Right.
So
okay. I got you.
okay, most time.
Got you.
So moving forward,
That's like, so it may give you a direct, like it's more direct answer.
right? So okay, so for example, like if I ask, what is he doing? Who am I talking about?
The other person.
But who is the other person?
Him.
But who is him? You feel me? Like, we don't know who that is unless we establish it.
Got you.
Unless we establish, okay, we're talking about this, or we're talking about this particular, you know what I'm saying, subject. So to start it off, you would say yaka, anya, or whatever the word for that is.
Okay.
And then form your sentence, and then now the conversation is built off of that. So moving forward, you would use the prepositions,
Okay.
or the appropriate possessive that goes with that word. So to answer, we got where are you? Aya yaka, anya ba rataza, chum. Right? For the nation of Ham. Chum. All right, next we got the land of Egypt, right? You got it, or you want to?
No. I'm just saying, yeah.
Oh,
I think I got it.
Oh, most time
That's
correct.
not correct.
Mizraim.
Damn right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't preaching that.
That's right.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Mizraim.
In the English, it would be Ms. Mizraim, right? Like the priest said. Or biblically in English. And then in the nation that's referring to is give a shout out.
Egypt.
Right, Egypt, Most High Christ. You got the nation of Egypt, referring to the Egyptians, right? Right, so if a brother was talking to Moses, right? Because he was in the land of, he was raised in the land of Egypt, or Mizraim, right? You would ask him, where are you? Aya yaka. And that brother, Moses, you know what I'm saying? Moses will respond. Yeah.
Mizraim.
Or in the Hebrew, it'll be Ma Tazat Salaki. Matazar Yum. And just to note, this word starts with a ma and ends with a ma.
So like that's Matazaram, right? Matazaram. Matazaram.
Right. So this word starts with a ma and ends with a ma. And the characters, like we spoke about earlier, change, right? So this is just for sight, just to be able to peep it out by sight off the top, you know what I'm saying, off the top of our heads as we're reading. You know what I'm saying? It's good to always just, you know what I'm saying, just point that out. Right? So this is the so-called Egyptians. Next up, we got the land of, let me see, the land of land of Canaan, right? And if you're not familiar with these nations, right, the biblical names, or the biblical names translated to the English or the modern name today, the best place to start is the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. So if you read about a nation in the Bible and you're not quite familiar with it, or whatever the case is, you could just go right to the Bible Dictionary and it'll tell you what that nation is, their progenitor. So if you go to the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, as a matter of fact, let me go there real quick. So we just talked about what we got? Zarian, right? Or Mizraim. All right, so the definition of Mizraim in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary is son of Ham. It gives you a couple scriptures talking about this nation. So it gives you Genesis chapter 6 and Genesis chapter 13, 1 Chronicles 1 and 8, right? Progenitor of the Egyptians. You know what I'm saying? Like we just brought out, right? People of North Africa, Hamitic people, right? Right, usual Hebrew word for Egypt, right? So if you're not familiar with a nation, if of a nation of the Bible, this is going to be the source that you're probably going to want to start with, and just look up that name of that nation, right? Secondly, to be able to find out how to say it in the ancient Hebrew, right? You will go to the concordance and look at that word and find the concordance number that corresponds with that word, and then find the Hebrew word for that, right? If you just want to, you know what I'm saying, if you just want to do some research on your own at home, or get used to using the tools that we talked about in the beginning of the class. All right, so we talking about the nation of Canaan, right? Any, I want to give it a shot. Let me see if any sister or brother got an answer in the chat. I got. What you got, Priest? Or you want to what you got, Priest? Go ahead.
Okay, so I will answer and say, Banya Baharatazat Kanyayim.
I see what you're doing. So I see you pronouncing the
Canaan.
You close, but you're pronouncing
the Canaan wrong.
You're pronouncing it as a vowel, right? That
the I.
Yeah, the I and the na. You're pronouncing the I as a vowel. So the character I is pronounced I, right?
Right.
So
Kana.
Okay, no sweat. So instead of what you said was kana in, it's kana ein.
Okay.
Right. So like in the English, the letter I is pronounced I, right? So because we've been used to reading English, we want to pronounce it I.
So it's kind of I.
Kind of ein, right?
I think I said it, but I didn't put it all the way. I was scared to say it, so I was wrong. Cause I said kind of I, but yeah. Cause at the end say N though, so I was kind of confused.
Right.
So that'd be I-N.
Right. Yeah, ein, right.
Okay, gotcha.
or in the. So if you asking a brother, you know what I'm saying, where you at, and he's in a nation, he's in the land of Canaan, he'll respond, Anya, Baha, Arakazah, Kanaan. So these are the so-called the Palestinian. It's the Palestinians, right? So this is the first nation of people that we were commanded by the Most High to eliminate out of our land that we were supposed to inherit, right? So they dwell in what would be modern day Israel by the river of Jordan in you know what I'm saying, where the city of Jerusalem is, or Yerushalayim in the Hebrew. Right? Or city of peace, which is what Yerushalayim means. But this is the first nation of people that we're supposed to get up out of there so that we can take that land that the Most High, you know what I'm saying, promised to us. Right? And that's how inheritances were gotten. You know what I'm saying? You had to go and get your inheritance. Right? So Anya, Baha, Aratazak, Kanaan. Right? So next nation, all right, we got the nation of, we got the land of Cush, or depending on, like, I think in the Bible you will see it spelled like Cush. You got to see that blue. But in the scriptures you might see it spelled with a C, or in, you know what I'm saying, historical text, modern historical text, you might see it spelled with a K. But either way, it's talking about the same land, right? So you're asking a brother, right? Where are you? So Ayah, Yakub, or to bring it back to the initial question, right? All right. So where is Salaki? Where is your son? So you'll respond. You want to give a shot, sir?
Shot.
Close. So you got in it'll be Kawash. So Banya Baha Arakaza Kawash. So where is your son? Ayah Banka. Somebody asks you Ayah Banka, you'll respond Banya Baha Arakaza Kawash in the Hebrew. This is talking about the so-called Cushites, right? These are the, let me make sure I got this correct. These are the so-called, Salaki, 1 second. Oh, Salaki, Ethiopian, so-called Ethiopian. right? But this is talking about the land right under Egypt, or you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right below Egypt, which would be modern day part of Sudan and Ethiopia, right? Okay, gotcha. In the Lashawan Qadash, will be written Ka Wa Sha. Or in the ancient, Kawash, or it's like a Kawash, right? So Banya Baha Rataza Kawash. We got about 2 more nations to come, right? Let's see. One more, Slaki. Last one. The nation of Put. So in the Lashawan Kodash, you would ask a brother Ayah Banka, where is your son? Right? You would ask, where is your son? In response, whoever's being asked the question, they will respond, Banya Baha al Rataza. So let me erase this. Banya Baha al Rataza. Ha Wat. To be written as Pa, Wa, and Ta. These are the so-called Libyans, if I'm not mistaken. This is the land that will be to the west of Egypt, where the Egyptians are, right? Their inheritance. Right. So Ayah Banka, where is your son? Or if you want to practice using different possessors, you could be like Ayah Ban. You just switch the possessive at the end, right? As we know that possessors come at the end of a root word. So we Ayah Ban Ya, where is my son? Right? Ayah Ban Ka, where is your son? Ayah Ban Wa, where is his son? So on and so forth. So if you want to say Ayah Ban Ya, where is my son? That brother would respond, he's in the land of Put. Ban Ka, Baha Arataza Hawaii. All right. So just for the sake of practice and practicing reading, writing, and speaking the Lashawan Qadash, what I would recommend for brothers and sisters to do is to continue practicing and forming sentences in the Lashawan Qadash. Using words that we already know. So we did the breakdown for the Lord's Prayer. In past classes, the breakdown for the power, the hakat, right? We talked about, parts of the body, especially for the sisters, right? So, when you training up the kids, as the scripture says, raise up a child in the way that they should go, and they'll never depart from it. So, in the Lashawan Qadash, right, as they're learning English, you could teach them, Lashawan Qadash too. Like, we're dealing with the sentence, where is your fill in the blank, right? So, just for the sisters, right, when you teaching the children, you could say, where is your head? Go back to the class where we're talking about the parts of the body, and like, okay, where is your head? Okay. Ayah Ra'ash, which is the name for head. Ka, where is your head? Ra'ash Ka. Ayah Ra'ash Ka, right? Or, where is your nose? Ayah Ah. Where is your mouth? Ayah Pa, right? Just to, and it's good to practice with our, for ourselves too, obviously, right? Because we can't teach the children if we don't, we don't, first teach ourselves or learn ourselves, right? But, Most High Christ the water to all the brothers, and the assistants who endure in class today, online and in class, just keep on practicing at home, taking good, deep, good, concise notes. And, we're going to get into the next topic, we're going to do a little bit of review next week, and then we're going to get into the next topic next week. With that, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushua to all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakathum to all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shemar Lathabah Shem Yahushua to all the sisters. So like it's frozen.
Just hold down the power button.
Man, so there you go. They just,
I'm saying, because frozen, just hold down the power button to shut
this shit down. Yeah, I think me too wild now.
Oh, you too well.
Yeah, me too wild. Oh, this shit, just in case. Yeah.